It's Thursday, May 27th, 2021, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, the Prime Minister presents the 2021-2022 budget in the House of Assembly. We're live at the National Emergency Management Agency, and we continue our series on the 85th anniversary of ZNS Radio. So let's start the morning off right.
A day before the start of the hurricane season.
Boy, I think it's Tuesday coming, and I know that we have at least 13 to 20 named storms. 6 to 8 are potentially to be hurricanes, so we got a very active hurricane season this year.
And we have a busy 2 days here at NEMA, and we have a busy show in store for you. But we have to always start it out first, turning it out there. Right there on Glaston Road is our Desmond Sanders with traffic. Good morning, Des.
Well, good morning, Charles and LaDawn. I'm out here at the front of NEMA, a busy thoroughfare out here, Gladstone Road. Streets are busy, a very active scene out here. Corporal joining me on the broadcast, traffic division, Corporal Wims. So glad that you could join us. Very, very busy, as I indicated, and people are not letting up. See a lot of people speeding on this main thoroughfare here.
Good morning, Desmond. Good morning, Bahamas. As we've seen for the past 15 minutes, persons are speeding on this road. What we tend to do every morning, we try to come out and let the persons know who's traversing north on this road that, hey, the police is out there on the roundabout. You don't have to rush to get out of this. We're going to help gradually pull you out of the traffic. All right, so the overtaking, the speeding, please slow it down. We have school zones, we have churches, we have everything on this one road. So we're asking you to please slow down, just drive with a little bit of patience. We're going to get you to work.
Now, for those who are not aware, what is the speed limit for this thoroughfare here?
The speed limit on this road varies between Carmichael Road and Fire Trail. The speed limit is 30 miles an hour. As you go from Fire Trail to JFK, you will see the speed zone signs saying begins and ends. Once that sign says end, then you're free to go up to the speed of 30 miles an hour. But then don't forget, once you get to the hill, time to start to tap that brakes as you come down the hill, because we want to ensure that you get to the roundabout safe, to give way, and ascertain your way clear as you enter the roundabout to continue on with every direction you go in.
Any areas around the Capitol, any particular areas that we need to be concerned about? If I'm a motorist heading out?
Just the regular traffic junctions. East Street, Prince Charles, Samala Butler Highway, the main Blue Hill Road on the hill. We know there are traffic congestion, so we're asking you, please, drive with a little bit of patience. Just patience. It just takes a little patience to get us all to where we're going safely.
Thank you very much, Corporal Christopher Wims from the Traffic Division of the Royal Bahamas Police Force organization. And so we're out here right in front of NEMA as we prepare for hurricane season. LaDawn and Charles, back to you.
We are waking up to 73% partly cloudy winds east at 4 miles per hour. Humidity 77%. A shifting high pressure system is generating gentle to fresh breezes across the Bahamas. All areas weather partly to mostly sunny, hot and humid, becoming breezy in the southeast Bahamas. Your daytime high temperature today, 88 degrees Fahrenheit. Overnight low, 68. Friday, mostly sunny, 84 in the day and 74 at night. And looking ahead to what is shaping up to be a beautiful outdoor weekend. Saturday, nice with sunshine, high in the day of 84 and 74 at night. Then on Sunday, pleasant with sunshine, 85 in the day and 74 at night.
The Accelerate Bahamas Recovery Plan, or Accelerate Bahamas, released by Minister of Finance, Prime Minister the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis in Parliament Wednesday, is designed to continue providing support to families and businesses in need and to push economic recovery. The COVID-19 pandemic continues to play a pivotal role in government spending.
The Bahamas' direct spending on its COVID-19 response approximates 2.5% of GDP. This level of support is in line with many of our Caribbean neighbors in terms of percent of GDP. While neighboring countries may have only provided unemployment assistance for up to 3 months, my government made the conscious decision and have committed thus far to extend unemployment assistance for 15 months already to end June 2021.
The opposition Progressive Liberal Party believes government's new budget lacks credibility or solutions.
It is a short-term budget for survival of the FNM, not a visionary piece that is designed to bring relief to people who are suffering, or to set a path to growth to ensure that we don't become a failed state.
Now to the daily COVID-19 dashboard. 25 new COVID cases reported yesterday, all here in New Providence, pushing the island's total count to 8,553, placing the national count to 11,622. There was a decrease in hospitalizations, with 33 individuals now being treated for COVID-19. Also making national news today, those women arrested in Acklands for alleged stealing after a fire blazed through a building on that island last week are in the capital awaiting a court appearance this week. They landed yesterday and were swiftly transported to the Nassau Street Police Station, where they will be detained until their trial. Officer in charge of Abaco Chief Superintendent Kenwood Taylor telling us speed was a key factor in the majority of fatal accidents on that island, where the numbers are inching closer to the double digits.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
The natural resources of the Bahamas play a critical role in supporting Bahamian livelihoods. For example, the fishing and tourism industry, which include fishermen, seafood exporters, hoteliers, dive operators, restaurants, and others. Collectively, they generate approximately $1.5 billion a year. Therefore, we must respect and preserve what we have. These resources belong to us.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
So let's all do our part to maintain our local economy and a good quality of life. Remember, if we take care of nature, nature will take care of us.
Running, educating Bahamians about the importance of hurricane preparedness. Desmond Saunders is standing by with NEMA's Public Relations Officer. Good morning again, Desmond. Well, for sure, I think we're having some technical difficulties outside there. We're going to go to Desmond in a minute. But hurricane season, I'm really, really afraid of hurricanes. I'm just not ready for hurricane season this year.
Nobody never is really
Yeah.
ready for hurricane season. June 1st is the start of hurricane season. I think that is Tuesday coming. Oh, we got to get everything ready, getting your
Hurricane shutters in, everything, yeah,
shutters,
oh man.
make sure the roof is all down. But we're here at this beautiful building here on Gladstone Road, NEMA facilities. They are definitely
Well, thank you very
prepared.
much, Charles and
I was here
LaDon. Out
earlier
here
the
in
week.
front of NEMA, a busy, active scene out here, but a pretty good day. The sun is out, and we're having a great time here. Joined by Lindsay Thompson from Bahamas Information Services, here to talk about Disaster Preparedness Month. Now, Lindsay, there are a number of activities to commemorate or coincide with Disaster Preparedness Month. Talk about some of those activities this morning.
Thanks, Desmond. Good morning again, and good morning, Bahamas. Month has been designated Disaster Preparedness Month by the Ministry of Disaster Preparedness, Management and Reconstruction. I know that's a long title, right? Yes, but NEMA now falls under that ministry. And so, according to the Minister of State and our Permanent Secretary, and we have Captain Russell, we have to now begin to prepare the country for the upcoming hurricane season. We know it's May, and some people might say it's a little bit early, but you have to be prepared nonetheless. So we started out with a briefing. We did a national briefing where we advised the public of the plans for the hurricane season and also urged them to be prepared, their homes, their households, and their businesses. So we started off with that, and we did a media blitz on talk shows, national talk shows. We went on a number of the private radio stations. Bahamians are varied listeners. They listen to various avenues for news. So we sought to target those areas. And we're also going to, if you see all this activity around here outside, we're staging an exhibition that will happen on Saturday from 12 noon to 7 p.m. You can come out, you can see demonstrations by the fire department on how to put out small fires. You can see the Royal Bahamas Defense Force doing an exercise for you. And NEMA and all of its emergency support function groupings. We will be here teaching, demonstrating, basically bombarding you with information that we all in this together. Our theme is we are all NEMA, stronger than ever. And so it's up to all of us to do this. And we will also close out our church. Being a religious community, we like to bring in an event giving God thanks. And so we will be at Christ Church Cathedral on Sunday. Our service is at 11:30. And that's about it for us for the month. But of course, the hurricane season runs June 1st to November 30th. And we will be bringing you more updates, more preparedness tips, so we all can survive whatever should come our way this hurricane season.
Well, thank you very much, Lindsay Thompson from Bahamas Information Services. Lindsay mentioned public engagement, so I want to encourage you listeners to be involved. Get involved. It's predicted to be a very active hurricane season this year, so let's get involved and participate in some of these activities. And knowledge is key, so let's keep informed and keep listening to the Bahamas Radio Network, the ZNS Network, for insightful information on the hurricane season. Back to you, Charles and LaDon.
Well, this is a very busy place in terms of day-to-day running. We had a chance to speak with Gail Alton. She's the Deputy Permanent Secretary within the Ministry of Disaster Preparedness, Management and Reconstruction on just what is NEMA.
NEMA deals basically with what we call comprehensive disaster management. That is, we deal with all of the different hazards. That's where there's going to be fire, floods, tsunamis, tornadoes, hurricanes included in that, oil spills. We're in a pandemic as we speak now. We deal with that also, even though health is the lead for this pandemic. We deal with mainly the mitigation portion of it and preparedness. That deals a lot with the training, getting information out, doing a lot of PSAs, getting people to understand what they need to do, some of their responsibilities. Also, not only training on the outside, training on the inside, in-house training.
With a wide range of portfolio, the complement of staff has learned from past disasters and continues to get the job done.
We have a staff complement of about 20 to 30 persons. When we activate the NEOC, everybody comes at different stages during the activation. We have pre-activation, the actual full activation, and deactivation. So it depends on where they would fit in during the time. We have the other liaison officers from the other agencies who would come in and stay. Because of the protocol with the COVID, we don't have as much persons in-house now, but we do have what we call sleeping quarters, and we would have minimized so that when you have some persons up, others can be down so that they can rest. So it's a 24-hour service that we run, especially during a active season or during an incident.
NEMA focus not only on hurricanes as some may perceive.
Well, because we sit within the hurricane belt and we only hear about hurricanes and we only see this big event, and this one big event normally impacts most of the Bahamas or most of the islands within the Bahamas. And for years we've been just only concentrating or focusing on what we would say hurricanes. Since NEMA came into play, we've been more comprehensive, where we deal with more than just hurricanes, fires, floods, tornadoes. So we try to educate persons on all of those things. We even try to educate persons on volcanoes and how to deal with those. Because sometimes you may be traveling in areas where there's a volcano. You need to understand what's happening, what you have to do with the evacuation procedures as it relates to those sort of things. So we deal with all of that. Even though we don't truly experience that in the Bahamas per se, we still have to have knowledge and understand how those different hazards work.
Established in June 2004, the agency has grown from just a desk in the Churchill building.
We've grown tremendously, and I must say, we need to pat ourselves on the back. We are the pearl of the Caribbean. We have the state-of-the-art bounds. From just using what we call maps on the wall, paper and pen, we're now totally almost electronic. But remember now, we still use that as our redundancy. We don't believe that because you have technology, that is everything that you need to do.
Thanks a lot, Fisher. Well, this morning we're also joined by the permanent secretary here at NEMA, Mr. Carl Smith. Mr. Smith, welcome to the morning edition.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, LaDawn.
Mr. Smith, so tell us, is NEMA ready for the upcoming hurricane season?
Yes, we are better prepared than in the past. Our theme, NEMA, we all won, stronger than ever. You would recall Hurricane Dorian in September of 2019 tested us. And we did an after-action review that basically was a review of what transpired and how it was in sync or not in sync with the disaster preparedness and response plan. Having done that, you would see even here at the facility, the National Emergency Management Agency, which is just behind me, there's been an upgrade in that facility to better gather, analyze, and disseminate information. It's crucial to what we do. When we say preparedness now, this is for everybody, and it doesn't start when the hurricane is upon us. And so this past month, we had Disaster Preparedness Month, where we reached out to the public to remind them of things that they ought to be doing throughout the year. Preparedness starts with our behavior. As you are aware, we are faced with the challenges of climate change, with the warming of the environment. And with that comes sea level rises, and as a consequence of that, warm waters and more frequent and more dangerous hurricanes. So all of these things are tied in, and preparedness, we are all to be doing things, mankind generally, our activities impact what subsequently happens. So you don't wait until June 1st, which is Tuesday, which is actually when the season officially starts. It is a continuous process of preparation and updating one's plans.
Talk to us about some of the key stakeholders that will be involved with NEMA as we head into an active hurricane season from June 1st to November 30th. Talk to us about that.
They're all the major agencies. So we have, as an example, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, the Royal Bahamas Police Force, these are action military type persons. But we have social services, we have the communications entities, Alive, BTC, we have transportation, the Ministry of Works for clearing of roads, so a wide range of entities. A matter of fact, all agencies of government.
And I've been getting some tests runs from NEMA to my phone. Talk to me about that campaign that you guys have been, I guess, embarking upon in terms of testing for the active hurricane season.
Okay, 2 weeks ago, we had a tabletop simulation exercise. And that exercise was really to test the disaster preparedness plan. And the simulation involved the passage of a Category 5 hurricane up through the archipelago of the Bahamas, affecting a number of islands, but its main impact was on the island of New Providence, which has the greatest population. Based on that, we saw where we had to make slight adjustments to the plan that we had in place. And so I am satisfied, I'm very convinced that we are very prepared for this hurricane season.
Thank you so much, Mr. Smith. All the best to you and your team as we head into an above active hurricane season. Thank you so much. For sure. Or it's going to be, sounds as if it's going to be rough this
A lot of
hurricane
information
season.
be given in such a short time, and it's just so preparedness take warning. It doesn't start preparation on June 1st. Preparations have been going for quite some time now.
Because I know residents over there in Abaco and Freeport, they're still reeling from Hurricane Dorian. So yeah, I'm sure
keep our fingers crossed that
hope that it
doesn't come this way.
And we don't get any storms this particular year. But I'm excited to be here at NEMA.
This is excited to be
outside. This is our first time out of the studio. Yeah. So it's more like just road for us. I know that yesterday we were talking about the promotional exercise where we can come to your business rather, and I think the package fee is what, $630. So yeah,
we're ready to get on the road. But talking about out on the road, our Desmond Sanders is out there once again. Good morning again, Des.
Well, Charles and LaDonna, I'm joined here this morning by Brenda Colbrook. She's a director of local government. And as you know, we've said it before and indicated before that hurricane season begins June 1st, very, very, very significant. And so what your department is doing is navigating the machinery for disaster preparedness in the Family Islands. How is that going? And how significant is your role?
Good morning, and good morning, Bahamas. The Department of Local Government is very pleased to have in the Family Island a very strong team of Family Island administrators who have come together over the years, and they have developed the strategies and all the needs that are necessary to ensure that our Family Island prepared. And this year is no different, to the extent that not only are they prepared for the pandemic, but now with the onset of the hurricane season, they have mobilized their efforts to ensure that our various communities are ready and prepared. So what they have done, they have already gotten started since early April to begin the consultative process with their committee members. They are ensuring that all of the necessary shelters are identified, prepared, and ready to go. They are identifying numbers so that we can pay attention to the social distancing needs so that those persons who have to utilize those shelters are able to do so safely. And of course, that is done in conjunction with the Department of Social Services. Additionally, they themselves are attending additional training sessions. They are conducting training sessions in their various communities. They are now focusing on ensuring that all of their communication methods are working, that they're able to communicate back and forth, not only locally with the residents, but with the National Emergency Management Agency here in New Providence. They're also ensuring that all of those areas that may become a hazard on the Family Island during the storm, that they are cleared. All flood-prone areas are being identified, and they're working very closely with various national disaster committees to ensure that those drains are cleared and that we won't have any problems in the areas of flooding.
Okay, so how many, as we head out, how many shelters have been identified altogether?
The actual number of shelters on the various family islands vary from island to island depending on the population, and they would have worked very closely with the Department of Social Services to identify them. So those numbers depend really on the population of the various islands.
All right. So Brenda Goldberg, Director, Local Government, joining me on the broadcast. Charles and LaDon, back to you.
Now, social service will also be a very important piece of the picture when it comes to hurricane preparedness. And joining us this morning is Synovia Coakley-Mills. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Edition.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
What is social services role as we prepare for the hurricane season?
Well, the Department of Social Services is responsible for shelter services and mass care. And in the event of a hurricane, we have persons who prepare before the storm, who work during the storm, and work after the storm. Before the storm would be our role to prepare the shelters. We have a team that goes out and inspects the shelters to determine if they are safe. They have the necessary amenities, and they are clearly marked, so that once we have approved them, then they can go ahead and join the list. We have completed the shelter inspections throughout the islands and New Providence as well. And we've prepared our shelter kits for our managers, who are all trained, the social workers as well as the volunteers who work along with our team. And we're basically ready to go. If there is the event of a hurricane, then persons need to be dispatched afterwards. Then we have initial damage assessment teams, and then we have teams that go out throughout wherever the district that is suffering injury, and they go ahead and assess persons to see where their needs lie.
Speaking about shelters, normally during the hurricane, we saw it during Dorian, some are compromised.
Yes, some of the shelters were compromised. Presently, the way we conduct our inspections, we have a digital mapping that takes place to identify shelters where they're located in terms of what is anticipated if there's surge or wind or whatever the natural calamity may be, so that if we see where there's a potential for a shelter to be compromised, it's in the wrong area, then we either eliminate the use of that shelter or we evacuate persons to another shelter that is safer.
Thanks a lot, Ms. Coakley-Mills, for joining us here on the Morning Edition. Well, it's the 85th anniversary of Radio Bahamas, and we now turn it over to Desmond Sanders, featuring some of the personalities.
She's a new voice and face to hit the national scene, mesmerizing listeners each morning with her upbeat and positive persona.
The first thing that I make sure I do is I go to bed early in the evenings, because of course to wake up with that kind of energy, Desmond, you have to have had enough rest. And then I do my spiritual routine. I get myself ready spiritually, and I just leave the rest of it up to the fact that that is my personality. I'm wide awake, I'm open, I'm engaging, and I just love to make noise.
Hope Shelley-Ann is a host of Radio Bahamas' signature morning program, The Wake Up Bahamas Show, giving listeners a full dose of news, health tips, traffic, weather, and consumer information. Since hitting the airwaves November 8th, 2019, the Radio Divas personality has hit a chord with her national audience. She recounts an experience in the grocery store with an avid listener.
This is a young woman who looked to be under 30. And she said, "Mom, you wake me up every day." So the fact that I've had people even tell me, I don't need an alarm clock anymore. I just wait for the big sound coming out of your voice telling me to wake up every morning.
Hope has had a long life passion for the airwaves, a staple at several leading private stations before being introduced to this national platform. She credits part of her success to broadcast pioneer Elva Russell Rowe.
One of the women that paved the way for women personalities here in the Bahamas as it relates to radio. And when I went to college, at first I had an undeclared major. And then eventually I said, guess what?
Oh, Fisher, I had a great time here at NEMA's headquarters. We'll be back. But we have a trivia question. Yeah.
Give us the director of NEMA, and you could win 2 ZNS Radio Anniversary shirts. You can call our numbers at 502-3800. Call in and tell us who is the director of NEMA, and you can pick up your shirts later on today.
That's a pretty easy question, but I'm sure Bahamians are going to get it once they hear the question.
Well, that's going to be it here from NEMA. We'll be right back here tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock for the morning edition, with much more information as the hurricane season approaches June 1st.
Have a great morning, everyone.